This is Joe and Don at Comfort Systems, USA Southwest, Northern California. Um, hey Don, tell me a little bit about what we're looking at here.
What we've got here is a 27-year-old Marley cooling tower, 560 tons, single cell, meaning that we've got one fan and one basin, and if we lose that basin or we lose that fan, they pretty much lose their cooling.
All right, and what prompted the customer to go ahead and make this change here?
What they were really looking for is redundancy. I think it was twofold: redundancy, and they were looking to save some energy again as well.
So it sounds like two good benefits there.
Right.
So, and tell me a little bit about the process that we went through.
What we needed to do and what we proposed for the redundancy is to put in what we call a two-cell cooling tower. Basically, it has two basins and two power fill and fan sections. And each one of those sections can be isolated if you use a fan or a basin. So in effect, they have their 50% cooling at any time.
Okay. Were there any compliance issues we were looking at here? Obviously we're watching this guy cut the old water line out.
Well, there was, and for the most part, everybody who participated in this process took care of those compliance issues.
Okay. That was like an awfully big crane. It's a tall building, I assume?
It was an 18-story building. This, I believe, was a 350-ton hydraulic crane with a boom about as long as a steady block. It took them about 4 or 5 hours to get that out. And there they are pulling the cable through the last portion of the jib right there.
All right, so obviously we're going to get this thing up to the roof. That's a big old crane. And what are we going to do? We're going to take the old system out?
Right, we're going to take the old system out. And by the way, that crane had to get some special permits because of its height and being right in the landing path of the San Jose airport. We had to get some airport variance permits in order to do the work. And there you can see we're yanking away first section of piping for this.
Okay, so we're going to get that out. And what's that? That's the old system going out as well?
That's the old tower coming up off the old base rail, and there's the tower coming up off its resting place, and it's going to be hoisted over the building and haul off the scrap.
Gotcha. So essentially that old unit there, not a lot of value, I assume?
Yeah, they might get a few $100s out of it if they're lucky, but we leave that to the crane company. And there we are, actually breaking the still picture is breaking the base rail loose and then getting those pedestals or footings, as you might want to call them, ready for the new base rail.
Gotcha. And that gets us ready for the installation piece of it. So got a new base rail going in. Any reasons why we couldn't use that old one?
It was too small.
Okay.
We definitely needed a little bit more room for the new dual cell, so we had to have a new base rail. And there we are getting the ISO springs installed.
Okay, and what do we need those for?
Those basically provide seismic protection,
okay,
and vibration isolation from the building.
Okay, so some code compliance issues.
Seismic is definitely a code compliance issue.
Sure. And talk about this new system going in. What's the value of this thing?
Well, the value is that, again, it's going to provide redundancy. We've got 4 pieces, 2 sections make up one complete tower for the most part.
Okay.
And what we end up doing is repiping the entire system so that at any time, if you have a failure in one section, we can isolate that. And again, they'll have 50% of the cooling available at any time during a failure of one section, which is not very often if you have 2 sections go at the same time.
All right. And how long does this process take? Obviously, there's some issues with trying to keep the comfort level of the people inside the building.
That's correct. That's correct. This is a Class A office building, so basically we came in on a Friday afternoon, and we were done with the install by Sunday afternoon. We had a couple of long 10-hour days in there, but customers came into the building on Monday morning and had cooling available.
Did any issue hooking this thing up? Was there?
No, nothing at all. It went very, very smoothly. We had to add a VFD, which gives us some some more energy savings and more control over the system, and everything went in pretty well.
What's a VFD?
A VFD is a variable frequency drive that we use to control the fan motors. There you can see they're taping up and getting ready to haul in the last section of the tower there.
Okay. There it is, going in. All right. Well, looks like a pretty cool project. Obviously, the customer's going to get some real nice benefits, including energy savings. And
oh yeah. And unfortunately, my video camera ran out of battery, so I had to shoot the still of the finished product.
all right.
But all in all, it was a great project.
All right, good deal. Thank you, Don. We'll do it again soon.
You betcha. Thank you, Joe.